Good morning, students. Welcome back to our class. Last class we have started chapter 8 Habitat and Adaptation. Okay, we discussed about different types of habitat such as aquatic habitat, terrestrial habitat, and aerial habitat, and subdivisions of terrestrial habitat such as desert habitat, mountain habitat, polar habitat, forest, and grasslands. Okay, so among these you have to study definition of habitat, only the definition of habitat and the different types of habitat and their examples, name of the different types of habitat and their examples only want to study from this portion. Okay, and in this lesson only few portions you have to study, that is definition of adaptations, then adaptations in aquatic habitat and adaptations in aerial habitat. Only that much you have to study in this lesson. Okay, adaptations in aquatic habitat and in that examples of Vallisneria, adaptations of Vallisneria, then adaptations of fish. Okay, and in adaptations in aerial habitat, that birds, features of adaptations of birds I have to study. That much only needed. No need to study adaptations of desert habitat and adaptations of mountain habitat, and the last adaptations in seeds for transport through air. Okay, so you have to study only two portions, that is adaptations in aquatic habitat and adaptations in aerial habitat. Okay, today we can discuss about adaptations in aquatic habitat. Okay, so aquatic habitat means we know that include water bodies. Mainly there are aquatic habitats includes freshwater bodies and marine water bodies. Freshwater bodies means ponds, rivers, lakes, etc. And marine water bodies includes seas and oceans. Okay, so we know that in the aquatic environment there are a variety of plants and animals are there. So in this way we can study about the adaptations of Vallisneria. Vallisneria is the aquatic plant and which is commonly used in setting up an aquarium. Okay, so in this plant that it has some adaptations in order to live in water. So in this figure you can see the Vallisneria. This is the Vallisneria plant. Okay, which are the adaptations of Vallisneria? In Vallisneria, the roots of Vallisneria are small in size. Have to underline that these are the adaptations. Roots. Roots are small in size. So smaller roots. And the function of root is to fix the plant in the soil. Only that the function of root is to fix the plant in the soil. Okay. And they have no role in absorbing water and nutrients from the soil. Only fixing the plant in the soil. Okay, that's about root. And what about stem? Stem is long, hollow and light. Stem of Vallisneria is long, hollow and light, and they grow well up to the water surface. Okay, so stem is the Vallisneria has a long, hollow and light stem and which grows up to the water surface. Okay, so this is about stem. So roots are very small and their function is to fix the plant in the soil. And the stem is a long, hollow and light stem. Okay, and about leaves. Leaves are thin, elongated and ribbon-like. Okay, the leaves of Vallisneria are thin, elongated and ribbon-like. Okay, so this feature of leaves helps to expose more surface to the light entering into the water. So the leaves are very thin and elongated and ribbon-like, and this feature enables to expose more surface to light entering into the water. Okay, and diffusion of gases between the gases takes place through the thin leaf surface. Okay, so leaf surface it also helps in the diffusion of gases. These are the features of Vallisneria. Okay, so which are the adaptations of Vallisneria or features of Vallisneria? Vallisneria is the aquatic plant It is a aquatic plant which is submerged. Okay, this is submerged in water. The features are its roots are very small root, and which helps in the fixing of plant in the soil, and leaves thin and ribbon-like elongated leaves, and about stem is long, hollow and light, and which grows up to the surface of the water. These are the features. Okay, so three features, that is about root, stem and leaves. That features you have to study, underline and study. Okay, once more, that's a root, a small root which helps in the fixing the plant in the soil, and long, hollow and light stem, and which grows well up to the water surface, and thin, elongated and ribbon-like leaves. That much only. Okay. And next, water lily. Another example is water lily. Another aquatic plant is water lily. Okay, and you have to study well about Vallisneria only. Just to study what are the adaptations of water lily. Water lily is partially submerged. It is partially submerged water plant. Okay, and its roots are fixed in the soil at the bottom of the pond, and so roots are fixed in the bottom, and stem are very small. They have smaller stem. Leaves are very long leaf, then leaf stalks. Leaves have the leaves are very flat, thin and flat leaves with the oily coating, and the leaf has a long leaf stalk which is filled with air spaces. Okay, this helps the this leaf to float on the water. Okay, leaf blades are broad with the oily coating on it, and spread on the water surface. And stomata is present at the upper surface of the leaves in order to diffuse the gaseous exchange. Okay, so we have to study more about Vallisneria. Okay, and next there are different animals, the adaptations of animals. Among that we have to study the adaptation of fishes. There are different animals which swim in water, that which live in water, like fishes, frogs, crocodiles, whales, etc. Okay, we can discuss about the adaptations of fishes. Okay, so fish means fish which is aquatic animal, and they are found both in marine and fresh water. Okay, they found in both fresh water and marine water. Different varieties of fishes are there. Most significant adaptations in a fish for aquatic life are they have streamlined body. They have some special features, that is adaptations in order to live in water. So they are a streamlined body. Their body is streamlined. Body shape is streamlined. Streamlined means here this is the shape of the fish. Okay, so this shape is called streamlined. At both end are pointed and middle flat. So this structure is called a streamlined body. So fishes have streamlined body, that is tapering at both ends. Okay, tapering, the body of the fish is has the tapering ends at both ends. Okay, so this shape, this streamlined body helps the fish to that is least resistance. It offers least resistance during the forward movement in water. They can move very fastly through the water with this shape. So streamlined body helps the fish to swim very fast in water. Okay, and next is scales, presence of scales, which is covered the entire body. The whole body of the fishes are covered with scales. They are waterproof. The scales are waterproof, and this forms exoskeleton of the fish, and also it protects the fish from the ill effects of water. Okay, so presence of scales are another adaptations of fishes, and these scales are covered all over the body, which gives exoskeleton to the animal, and also they are waterproof. They are waterproof and forms exoskeleton, and also protects this scales protects the fish from the ill effects of water. Okay, that's about scales. Okay, so scale means which are the scales? here in that fish you can see the many scales are there, that all over the body is covered with the scales. Okay. And next feature, next adaptation is presence of fins. Fins means which helps the fish to swim in water. Fish, with the help of the fins and tails, fish can swim in water. It has, so here you can see fins. These are the fins. You can see these are the fins. Okay, which helps to swim. Okay, and the fishes have two types of fins: paired fins and unpaired fins. Paired fins means they are right and left sides. Okay, paired fins are seen in the right and left sides, and unpaired fins are seen. They are the median. They are the median fins. So paired fins and unpaired fins are there. So these are the paired fins and these are the median fins. Okay. So that's about fins. So fins helps to move or swim in water. Okay. And next adaptation is the presence of air bladder. Air bladder, that is swim bladder. So all the fishes have air bladder, that is the bladder filled with air, which helps in maintaining buoyancy, and the fish can rise upward or sink downward by increasing or decreasing the amount of gases in the bladder. Okay, so the air bladder helps the fish to maintain the buoyancy and to move to rise upward and sink downward. So that is done by changing the amount of gases in the bladder. Okay, so presence of air bladder is another important feature adaptation of fishes. And next is gills. You know that the gills are the breathing organ of fishes. Okay, so gills are the breathing organs, and they are located on either side of the throat and are covered by an operculum. Okay, so the fishes have gills. Through the gills helps in the respiration. These are the gills. This red colored part, this is the gills, and which is covered by this operculum. Okay, so both side of the throat you can see the gills. Okay, which are the respiratory organ of fish. Okay, so the fish takes in water through the mouth. So in that water there is air. In the air, oxygen is dissolved. Oxygen is dissolved in the water. So the fish takes the water through the mouth and is expelled out from the gill chambers on either side. And this water is expelled through the gill chambers. So as the water flows through the gill chambers, the gill filaments are there. These gill filaments that takes the oxygen dissolved in water. Okay, during the time when the water passes through these gill chambers, the gill filaments present in they absorbs the oxygen, and near the gill chamber, this gill filaments, the blood is there, so blood absorbs the oxygen dissolved in water, and carbon dioxide is given out. Okay, the oxygen of the air dissolved in water is taken up by the blood flowing through gill filaments, and carbon dioxide is removed out. Okay, so in this way the respiration takes place in fishes. Okay, fishes have gills. These gills are the respiratory organ, and which is located on either side of the throat and is covered by operculum. Okay, which helps in this gills helps in respiration. How the respiration takes place in fish? The fish takes in water through the mouth, and this water is pushed outside through the gill chambers. When the water passes through the gill chambers, in the gill chambers there are gill filaments are there, and the blood in the gill filaments passing through the gill filaments absorbs the oxygen present in the water and gives out carbon dioxide. In this way the gaseous exchange takes place. Okay, so these are the adaptations of fish. So which are the adaptations of fish? Streamlined body. You have to mark it and study well. Okay, adaptations of fishes are important. Okay, so streamlined body shape, then presence of scales, presence of fins and air bladder and gills. These are the adaptations of fishes. Okay, when you study, you have to study one or two sentences. You have to study among these points. Okay, streamlined body means the fishes have a streamlined body, that is it is tapering at both ends, which offers least resistance during forward movement in water. And thus presence of scale covering the entire body. The entire body of fish is covered with scales, which is waterproof and which forms exoskeleton, and also it protects the fish from the outside environment, that is the ill effects of water. And next adaptation is presence of fins. That is, fish can swim with the help of fins. Two types of fins are present in fish for swimming. And next is air bladder. That fishes have a air bladder which is filled with air, which helps in maintaining buoyancy, and fish can move or rise upward and sink downward with the help of by changing the amount of gases in the bladder. And next adaptation is presence of gills. Fishes have gills, which is the respiratory organ and breathing organ, and the gills, through the gills the water passes out during the time the blood in the gill filament, they absorb the oxygen and remove the carbon dioxide. Okay, so these are about adaptations of fishes. Okay, students, you have to study the adaptation of fishes. Okay, and adaptation of whales also is given. Like fishes, the other animals such as whales, crocodiles, turtles, ducks, etc. They also can swim in water, and they also have some adaptations to swim in water. Whales means they are the marine mammals. Whales are the marine mammals, and their body is very largest animals. The whales are the largest animal in the world, isn't it? Their huge body is also spindle shaped because they have to swim in water. So in order to swim, their body is adapted to the shape of us, that is a spindle shape, that is streamlined body. And next adaptation is the legs. The front legs are modified into paddles or flippers in order to kicking water for the moment. And hind limbs are absent. Only the front legs which are modified into paddles in order to kick the water. So these are the adaptations of whales. And also they periodically come out of the water surface in order to absorb the oxygen present in the air for the respiration through the lungs. They respire through the lungs in order to take the water, in order to take the oxygen, they periodically come out of the water. Okay, so these are the adaptations found in whales. So mainly you have to study the adaptations of fishes and adaptations of Vallisneria. So in aquatic adaptations, study about the examples. Aquatic plants examples, Vallisneria, water lily, and aquatic animals examples, frog, crocodile, fish, whales, etc. We have to study the adaptations of Vallisneria and adaptations of fishes. Okay, students, hope you understood. Simple only, have to read the textbook thoroughly. Okay, so that's about today. So you have to read thoroughly. Okay, dear students, that's about today. We can see you next class. Thank you.